You're listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. She is passionate, direct, and sometimes a little sarcastic, but always gives you what you need to succeed in business. Now, here's your host, Amber De La Garza, the Productivity Specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today is episode 34, Why Your New Year's Resolutions Are Sure to Fail. If you are an entrepreneur who wants to take consistent, massive, focused action in your business and life, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me. My guess is that we have a lot of new listeners to Productivity Straight Talk, as it's the new year of 2018. In fact, as this episode goes live, it's January 1st of 2018. I welcome all of the new listeners. I want to give you just a little bit of what you can expect in Productivity Straight Talk. On this show, we have a few different formats. And the first one is that I do solo episodes where I'm teaching you strategies and techniques to improve your productivity to increase your profits, just like today's episode. And then I alternate interviews. And within those interviews, I have two different formats. And the first format is that I interview other experts on productivity, time management, or essential business strategies and tips and topics that I think would be useful for our listeners. And the second interview, which is one of my favorite, are case studies of entrepreneurs just like you. In these interviews, I unfold the story of what they have been challenged with regards to their productivity. And then we disclose what strategies, tips, techniques, tools, or resources they use to overcome those challenges, and then how their business and life have improved since overcoming their productivity challenges. Okay, so there you have it. There's 3 different types of episodes. I hope you come back and listen for more. And until I drop another episode next week, feel free to go back and listen to the 33 other episodes that are already in the queue. You can do that by scrolling through any of your favorite podcast app players. Today, my goal is for you to discover why your New Year's resolution is destined to fail, so that you can beat the odds and achieve your resolutions in 2018. I'm bringing this episode to you because I want you to discover the importance of creating New Year's resolutions, the 3 reasons your resolution is sure to fail, and how to not let it, of course, the secrets to attaining success with your resolution, what syndrome you may be suffering from that's holding you back, and so much more. So let's dive right in and get straight to it. So today we're talking all about New Year's resolutions. And today we're going to start off with some really scary facts. In fact, I wasn't even aware of these scary facts until we started doing research for this episode. If you make a New Year's resolution for 2018, it's likely you're going to fail. How do I know that, you ask? Well, according to our research, the University of San Francisco's research, only 8% of people achieve their New Year's resolution goals each year. 8%. That means that 92% of you will fail to see your New Year's resolutions through. In fact, 80% of your New Year's resolutions will fail by February. Kind of depressing, isn't it? I don't know. I don't really think it's depressing. I like having the facts so that we know how we are going to be the 8%. In general, we are terrible at seeing our New Year's resolutions through. But why? Why do only 8% of us hold the secret to success when it comes to creating New Year's resolutions and achieving them? Why do 42.4% of people fail at their resolution every single year? Well, many of you are suffering from the false hope syndrome, but don't even realize it. Do you know what the false hope syndrome is? That's the psychological condition that the National Institute of Health coined for the cycle of trying and failing to change yourself or your circumstances repeatedly while not altering the method in which you're attempting to change. It's an epidemic when it comes to New Year's resolutions. You keep repeating the cycle of wanting to change, create a resolution, and fail to change year after year after year. Care to step off that carousel of failed attempts and make your move towards resolution success? I know you are, and that is why you're listening today. In fact, that's why you're listening every week to Productivity Straight Talk. So, first of all, the good news is that if you make a resolution at all, you're on the right track. as you're 10 times more likely to attain success than the people who don't explicitly make a resolution. Then it's necessary to determine why your resolution is likely to fail. Simply put, you're most likely thinking of your resolution as how it's defined. The definition states a firm decision to do or not do something, when that's not all there is to it. Furthermore, you're probably even graying the area in the back of your mind, thinking of your resolution as a behavior modification in which you will or will not do something as much or as little as you wish. Whether you want to lose weight, exercise more, eat healthier, make more money, or have a more meaningful relationship, altering your behavior on its own is not going to help you succeed in accomplishing your resolution. Stop thinking of your resolution as a mere behavior modification and start treating it as a goal. Most of the top resolutions from 2017 failed miserably because they were not written as goals, but merely dreamed up as wishes. Don't fixate your time and effort on a resolution that's destined to bomb. Instead, transform that idea for your resolution into a New Year's goal that is destined to succeed. So here's how. I think that your New Year's resolution should be set up as goals, but not just any goals. I want you to make your resolution into a SMART squared goal. Whether for your business or your personal life, the SMART squared criteria for creating goals should be applied to your resolutions as well, and therefore they should meet these criteria. Now there's 10 of them, and you don't need to meet them all, but going through this guideline of the SMART squared goal creation will give you a great framework into ultimately getting very, very clear about not only what you want to achieve in your goal, but how you're going to achieve it. You need to know this. You need to understand that, and you need to have the ultimate clarity so that you can focus on achieving your goals at all costs. So the first one is to be strategic. Your resolution must align with your other goals. What I mean by this is that when you create a goal, you need to make sure that it's in alignment with your overall goals. You don't want one goal to be pulling at you and taking you away from another goal. So they all need to be working in relation with each other. If your New Year's resolution or goal is to be at home with your family by, let's say, 3 o'clock every day and take a 2-week vacation every month, now I'm just exaggerating, but let's just say that's what it is, and your other goal for your business is to quadruple your revenue. Unless you really, really have a team that's going to be doing this for you already implemented, those two goals are going to always be at odds with each other. So when you're working in your business to try and achieve your goal of quadrupling your revenue, you're going to be not achieving your other goal of being off by 3 o'clock every day and taking 2 weeks off a month for vacation. Now, those are exaggerated examples, but the truth is we do this to ourselves all the time. We create goals and we don't really see how it fits into the big picture. So I really want your resolution/goal to be strategic in your overall big picture. Next, specific. You can't be vague when it comes to resolutions. According to John Norcross of the University of Scranton, vague goals beget vague resolutions. Set a specific goal. How much weight do you want to lose? By when? How much do you want your profits to increase by? How many more clients do you want by March? The more detailed your resolution, the better aim you'll have when shooting for it. Be so detailed with your goals that you're able to visualize achieving it. Next, measurable. Every single goal should be measurable. Great resolutions can easily be quantified. If there's no numeric value in your resolution, consider adding one. I want to lose 10% of my body fat is a much more measurable than I want to lose weight, especially when toned muscle weight weighs more than fat. The same goes for business. Instead of creating a resolution, I will attract new business from my warm leads, I would rather hear, I will attract 20 new clients via following up with my warm leads by February 1st. That would be a much more measurable and therefore achievable. Every goal needs to have a measurement so that you know if you are on target or off target, what corrections need to be made. If you're vague, you're going to be vague in your actions. Next is meaningful. I believe that any goal that's worth going after should be meaningful. Your resolution should be your resolution, nobody else's. Is you losing weight important to you or just your spouse? Is you finding your soulmate in 2018 a high priority for you, or it's just your overbearing mom that thinks you need a mate? If you lack the passion to attain your resolution, it is sure to fail. Next is that it needs to be attainable. Sure, being recognized as a Fortune 500 company in 2018 would be great career defining. Heck, why stop there? Fortune 100 sounds even better. But if you currently own a business with 10 employees, owe your lenders 20 grand, and are just making payroll each month with your revenue, Fortune anything should probably not be in your vocabulary for 2018. I'm not saying it's impossible, and I'm certainly not the one here that's trying to deter you from what your goals are. However, I think that being realistic and ensuring that they're attainable, even attainable with a big stretch, is far better than something that's so far out there and far-fetched that you are not really able to wrap your mind around what it's going to take to achieve that goal. I want you to take into mind when you're creating your goal, what resources do you have? Who's on your team? Don't sell yourself short. I want you to really take an inventory of what is possible for you and push past that while keeping in mind to set your goal as something that is surely attainable. Next up is action-oriented. I love this because I'm an action taker, but you need to have an actionable plan of how you're going to achieve your resolution. Getting healthy is a good goal, but it's not a plan. And as the popular saying goes, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Committing to not eating any fried foods, processed sugar, or white flour combined with working out at the gym Mondays and Thursdays resembles a plan that you can actually execute upon. Write down your resolution, but don't stop there. Block out actions associated with your resolution on your calendar, because if you don't make the time to do what it takes to achieve it, you won't. Next up, with regards to creating your resolution/goal, is that I want it to be relevant. Your resolution should make sense a month from now as well as 20 years from now, because it should support your vision of success both personally and professionally. If succeeding at your resolution would mean embarking on a different journey towards something other than your dream that you've always had for yourself, reevaluate your resolution so that it makes sense. And you are the only person that can determine if your goal is relevant and makes sense to you and is in alignment with your vision and goals. Next, I want it to be rewarding. Resolutions should move you forward towards a positive payoff, like less stress, more energy, feeling better, finding love, enjoying life, more clients, higher profits. These are all excellent examples of positive payoffs. Don't set yourself up for failure for creating a resolution or a goal that ultimately is not rewarding to you. Next, I want your resolutions to be time-bound. Any resolution that is worthy of your time and effort is worthy of a deadline. Deadlines prevent you from getting roped into spending your finite time on all sorts of less than important tasks and projects that are not time sensitive. In turn, they help you prioritize and focus on what's most important. Because if I were to say that I want to be a millionaire and I gave myself no deadline or 20 years, that's not that impressive and probably really not that hard to accumulate $1 million. So make sure that your resolution and or goal is definitely time bound. The truth is that many of us work much better with time restraints around us. And so why wouldn't we want our goals to have that time restraint so that we're actively pursuing it in a specific amount of time? Okay, the last one. This is a good one. This is actually how you know if you're even making progress. I want your goal to be trackable. Trackable goals can be measured in terms of your progress towards achieving them. Scales track pounds down, calibers track inches lost, pedometers track steps walked, and P&L statements track the financial health of your business. If you're unable to track your progress towards your resolution, it's hard to establish momentum and gain the traction and confidence you need to follow through with your pursuit. Having trackable goals also allows you to know if you're on track or not, so that course corrections can be made. Having a trackable goal is so important, and I cannot emphasize this enough. If you are not tracking your results, you do not know what needs to happen to make that course correction to ensure that you meet your goal by that specific time bound or deadline of which you want to achieve this goal by. So ensure that it's trackable, and not only ensure that your goal or resolution is trackable, but track it. I want you to track it. Okay, so just to recap with you really quick, there's 10 of them. I would love your SMART squared goals to be strategic, specific, measurable, meaningful, attainable, action-oriented, relevant, rewarding, time-bound, and trackable. Before I go on, I just really want to tell you this. I do not want this to intimidate you. I do not want you to make this feel like this is so much and they have to meet all 10 of this criteria. What I want you to walk away from is that you need to spend some time in creating your resolution so that you can be more successful, so that you're one of the 8% that at the end of 2018 says, I achieved it. I made it happen. And to do that, again, you need to have clarity on not just what your goal is, but how you're going to achieve it. Because once you have clarity, you're able to take consistent, massive, focused action towards achieving those goals. Next, beyond making your resolution a SMART squared goal, you'll also need to budget for it. Nothing is free. Whether you commit to a gym membership, an organic whole food diet, or hiring a business coach, there will be monthly financial costs of sticking to your resolution. Make sure you account for associated costs and only create resolutions you can afford to stick with. Even a noble resolution of spending more time with family can come with a hefty price tag in the form of restaurants, movies, arcades, barbecues, theme parks, vacations, and less time with client-generating income. I want to point out, however, that you should not shy away from your resolution you're passionate about, if it meets the majority of the SMART squared criteria just because the financial aspects of them seem too daunting. You might just have to channel your inner creative genius. If you can't afford a gym membership, could you follow along with YouTube videos and work out in the privacy of your home? Of course you can. Could you shop at Whole Foods for the dirty dozen and buy the clean 15 at Walmart? Yes, of course you can. Could you read every book on business growth that Amazon has to offer? Sure you could. Compromising on the method of achieving your goals doesn't mean you're compromising on the goals themselves. It just means another method will have to do for now. No resolution is worth piling up inconceivable amounts of debt. But also don't shy away from resolutions due to their initial cost. After all, the financial benefits of successful resolutions should win out over their preliminary costs in the long run. Healthier eating and exercise could mean fewer doctor visits and less expensive prescription medications, lower your insurance rates, and a lot less money spent on an entire new wardrobe when you can't fit into it anymore. The same can be said for hiring a coach or joining a mastermind group. You could cheap your way out, but joining one or working with a coach could shortcut your way to success and ultimately make you more money in less time. Finally, don't try to go at it alone. Accountability is huge in my coaching business, and it's a huge part of your resolutions succeeding. Accountability helps you measure your progress, accelerate your performance, increase your level of commitment, validate your thoughts and ideas worth pursuing, reignite your motivation, ensure you're staying on track with achieving those goals or resolutions. Accountability overall helps out in so many different ways for so many people. I recommend establishing an accountability partner who you can trust to hold you to your commitments, help you keep your resolution a priority, and celebrate your milestones with you. It could be your employee, your spouse, or your best friend. If they care about you, they'll care about your success. If an accountability partner is a tough find, the very least you can do is post your progress on social media. Just putting, I ran 5 miles today, out there for the world to see can have the psychological effect of being held accountable. even if none of your friends comment on your running posts, you might still find yourself feeling compelled to explain yourself if you miss a run. Public declaration improves the likelihood you stick to your resolutions. You can also team up with other people who share the same resolution. Is Jenny across the hall trying to lose weight too? Or is Don in your mastermind group also hell-bent on increasing his marketing efforts in the first quarter? Lean on each other for support, advice, and helpful resources. Most New Year's resolutions will fail. Okay, 92% of resolutions will fail, and that makes the odds of yours succeeding slim. But most resolutions are not carefully thought out and constructed either. Few people take the time to write resolutions as smart squared goals, budget for them, and seek the right person to hold them accountable to their commitment. Most people's resolutions are sure to fail, but not yours. You have the know-how to succeed. Now that you know the know-how to succeed, what are you going to do? I have loved having you listen to Productivity Straight Talk, but I need to be straight with you. No change, no change. Without taking action, nothing will change for you or your business. So based on what you learned, what will you take action on? Are you committed to making your 2018 resolution smart squared? I hope you are. And if you've been listening for quite some time, then you know that I have an amazing Productivity Straight Talk community. You can share your actionables and receive support, guidance, and motivation from entrepreneurs just like you. So come on over and join us on the inside. You can join us by going to productivitycommunity.com. Once you're there, you just leave me your name and email address, and I will send you a personalized private link into our Facebook group. And it's in there that I really ask you, show up, participate, post what your resolutions are. Ask for an accountability partner. In there, you're going to find people that are up to some really cool things. And I'm sure that if you ask for an accountability partner, you would find one. I also want to share with you that in 2018 that I'm going to be opening up some group coaching opportunities. And this is phenomenal. It's phenomenal that I'm able to serve so many more people that may not be able to afford one-on-one coaching with me at this time in their business. I'm also going to be opening up mastermind groups. You will hear more about it when it's up and going, but if either of these are interesting to you, I would ask that you just email me at amber@theproductivityspecialist.com and just put in the subject line, interested in coaching, interested in masterminds. That is my email. It's my personal email. I will literally get it in my inbox. If that is something that interests you, I'd love to have a conversation with you to see if that's the next right step that will support your growth and your goals and your vision of success. I wish you a fabulous, productive, and prosperous new year in 2018. And I know that you have the tools to do that. I know that you have within you the power to create what it is that you desire. And so with that being said, if you have enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you would share it with another entrepreneur who you feel would find it valuable. And one last thing, I do not want to leave you without telling you that I have some really cool resources for you. So you know that this is episode 34. Being that it's episode 34, I have some gold mine of content back in previous episodes. So I have an episode called Creating Big Goals Worth Pursuing. That's episode 5. And in that, I have a freebie download of a worksheet all about the SMART Squared goal creation. And you can get that by going to theproductivityspecialist.com/005 download. Again, you can get that by going to theproductivityspecialist.com/005 download. And it's a worksheet that you can utilize to write your goal and then determine if it's utilizing these 10 different ways in which you can ensure the success of your goal. I also have another episode that I think that you would find really valuable. And it's episode number 3, and it's called Your Big Why, Not Just Another Stupid Exercise. And in that episode, I unfold the foundation of really wanting to know, what is your big why? What drives you? And if you're here to improve your productivity, you need to know what drives you. Why do you do this? Why do you get up? Why do you grind? Why do you do this day after day? It is a really good episode. And then I have one more for you. This is episode 7, and it's called Tackling Your Goals with Tactical Precision. And in this episode, I unfold how to actually create the execution tackling plan, tactical precision, if that's not a tongue twister. I explain to you of how you go from just a big goal, and even if it's smart squared, how do you create the plan and go after it? And how do you set up your monthly milestones and your quarterly goals that are going to ultimately get you to your overall goal? All that can be found in episode 7. So just to recap, if you don't remember any of these, you can go to today's show notes, which you'll find at theproductivityspecialist.com/034. And there I will link to episode 3, your big why, not just another stupid exercise. Episode 5, creating big goals worth pursuing. Episode 7, tackling your goals with tactical precision. All right, guys, this was a lot, and I'm so honored that you decided to share your time with me today and invest your time in improving yourself. So don't waste this time. Invest it by taking action. Don't let this be just another something you learn and you just keep to yourself. I want you to take action, and the best way to do that is to take it now. Well, that's my straight talk for you today, and until next time, have a productive week.